Hello scrappers and planet lovers, Tin Man here with another video. So today what I'm going to do is take apart this dishwasher here. Found it last week on the side of the road. As you can see, the front panel has already been taken off. Perhaps the owner wanted to use it again, I'm not sure. But there are a lot of goodies in a dishwasher. As you can see, there is a lot of low-grade wire. There are some silver contacts. There is a lot of steel. Very, very little waste. And some dishwashers are actually, in the inside, stainless steel. So stainless steel is worth about 45 to 50 cents a pound. I will show you how to check if they are. This is a Bosch model. This one actually is stainless steel inside. So here we go. So I'm going to open it up first of all. Best way to check if it's stainless steel, inside you take your magnet, and I'm rubbing it on the door here, I'm rubbing it on the inside, and it is not magnetic, which means the door frame, the inside shell is stainless steel. A lot of models, they look like stainless steel, but if you put a magnet up to them and they stick, it is just a fine coating of nickel, so you're not going to get stainless steel price because it's magnetic, so it will be just thrown in the steel pile. This one, however, as I said, is a great find because it is stainless steel. Okay. The doors, these doors just simply come out. These doors are all plastic coated steel. So, as you can see, the magnet sticks. These are all going to be thrown right into my steel pile. Okay, and the scrap yards are not going to be too concerned with a little bit of coating on them. I'm still going to get the price for steel. Okay, so that's one. Here's the other one. This, unfortunately, is all plastic. So this will go into the landfill. But this door, again, it's also going to be steel. This net actually has a screen of stainless steel on it. I think what I'll probably do later on after the video is maybe try and break the plastic off to put this into my stainless steel. If I can't get it off, I'll just throw it into my steel. It's better than going to the landfill. Or I'll try and put it into my dirty stainless steel. There might be a section for that as well. Okay, the door panel, as I said, is a lot of lower grade wire here. These control panels, this is plastic, unfortunately, but underneath here, because there are push buttons, there is going to be some silver contacts. I'm going to quickly take the last bolt out of this panel out. And I'm actually going to turn this over to make it easier for myself. On the bottom is where all your control, your motor, all your things that you're going to find to run it are going to be. So I'm just going to turn this over to get out the screws. There's my other, there it is. Wrong screwdriver. Okay, and this is actually going to have low-grade wire. I'm going to cut this off first. And it doesn't matter. I'm just going to pull it off. This is steel. I'm going to pull them close as I can. In Canada, low-grade wire is about 20 cents a pound. Okay, so this is just connected by tape. It just feeds through. I got to get out of the plastic. But we call this low-grade wire because if you look at it, there is not a lot of copper inside. It's a lot of plastic coating. So you want to make sure you separate this from your regular appliance wire. I do have to take it out of the plastic. The plastic's going to go in the garbage. But if I put this low-grade wire into my insulated wire bin, I'm going to get lower price. Okay? So I want to make sure I separate it. I'm going to pull the door off here. I'm going to make sure I also put my safety glasses on, because anytime I'm starting to pry stuff off, I want to make sure that I protect my eyes. I'm going to use a pry bar here. this unfortunately is plastic. Okay, so it's gonna go into the landfill. The frame again. I'm gonna open this door. So I take the door off. There's a couple bolts, but I also want to go in and get the motor from underneath. So this is a screen. This is the catch reservoir for the food. This is stainless steel, so here's another nice piece of stainless steel. This is your fan that squishes the water around, or your hose nozzle. Okay, this unfortunately is plastic. On the bottom here, if you can see, right in the white spot, the motor is connected right on the bottom there, and it's got a couple screws that I have to take out. So this door is kind of getting annoying, but that's the purpose of this thing. It's supposed to swing open. I'm actually just going to try and bend it down a little bit. But I'm going to get these last bolts out first, so then I can go from the bottom. All right, so the bottom, now I'm going to actually turn this upside down. If I put a magnet to the bolts, they are not magnetic. So you don't want to have a stainless steel inside and steel screws because they would rust. So these are actually coated with nickel. They are going to go into my stainless steel pile for screws. So I'm going to make sure I separate these from my steel ones. I'm going to flip this over. I'm going to cut the cord. The door is actually on a spring. That's why it keeps going back and forth. So now, because I've cut the string, it shouldn't go back and forth again. There is a small frame of plastic here that I need to rip off. Okay, so this is a pretty heavy piece of plastic, but again, it's better than the entire thing going into the landfill. Okay, so this does have some steel in it, so I am going to take the steel out before I throw it in the landfill. But this is pretty heavy of plastic, and unfortunately, I can't do anything here in Canada with it other than throw it in the landfill. Okay, so here is your bottom with a nice copper bearing motor here. It is surrounded by cast aluminum. You can throw this motor into your copper bearing motor pile as is. Currently, prices for copper bearing motors are 10 cents a pound. Okay, I'm gonna put this closer. It also, as you can see, has a solenoid. They are not worth much, but I throw them into a pile and I get solenoid price. There is, under here, if I open this thing up, there's going to be a pump with some copper, which is gonna be a nice score. There is also, as I can see right here, a silver contact. So I'm actually gonna open this up for this video. So I need to get a screwdriver first. Very easy to do. Take a flathead screwdriver to get it out of there. You're gonna find these, you find them on all types of appliances. Silver contacts. I store them up, and hopefully one day I will have enough to make a silver bullion. So I'm just gonna break this open for you. There's a small piece of plastic. So take a hammer. Gotta pop these screws off first of all, or these two bolts. Gonna break the plastic open. Okay, and I'm just gonna pop the top off. Inside, if I open this up, I'm just gonna peel this back for you. If I can reach it. Might have to get a screwdriver. There. I'm gonna pull this back. As you can see, there are little dots. Those dots are silver. They're silver contacts. And each one of these actually has 3 of them in there. So there's a couple more in here. And I'm not gonna take them out right now because I don't want to drop them on the floor. But I just store them up and I put them into my silver contact bucket. And one day, hopefully, I'm gonna have enough to make a little silver bouillon. Okay, so there are a couple of those. Obviously, the hoses are all gonna be plastic. They do have some really nice brass prongs on them. I cut these brass prongs off and I actually put them into my clean brass bucket. There is, right inside this plastic that I need to break off, a small copper bearing motor. So I just had to break the plastic to get that out. Here, I'm gonna use a hammer to break this off. Okay, and you might wanna be very careful when you start opening these dishwashers. There is gonna be some water probably left in there, so be careful. You don't wanna get dirty. Inside, they always have these, dishwashers have these. There's a couple other appliances, washing machines. They'll have a nice big steel piece. And as you can see inside, right there, is copper, okay? So I'm just gonna pop this off the top using, it's got a couple little bolts. So I just need a screwdriver pop this off. Okay. And there's another one there, so we can use a hammer. All right, so this is plastic, but inside here, there is a nice spool of copper. And all I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take the plastic part off, and I will actually feed this copper out, and I'll put this copper into my number 2 bin. Very easy to do. As I said, it just slides off these 2 prongs, and I'll just, I can just peel it off of there. Okay, so I'm gonna do that later, but that is copper. As I said, your motor, one thing you do wanna check before you actually scrap it, and strip it, is you want to see if it is copper or aluminum. So all you have to do is, if I scratch the coil, which I'm doing right now, I'm looking, it is copper inside. So this is worth taking out, and it's just connected by a couple bolts. If I scratch this copper looking coil and it was a metallic color, it means that it is aluminum. And if it was aluminum, it's not worth separating. So I would just put it into my copper bearing motor as is and get copper bearing motor price. The other thing, as I said, here's another small little copper bearing motor that I'll connect or take off. A lot of low grade wire. Okay, on the door, if I turn it back around, there is some steel. So right here, I do have to separate these with some bolts. And that's all it is, it's just a couple bolts. Open up the door. Now the door doesn't have a spring on it anymore. Okay. These are connected with bolts. And I should have said this at the start of the video. You could have brought this appliance in and gotten steel price, okay, because just like with washers or dryers, you could have taken it in bulk and get steel price. This thing's not really heavy, it's maybe 60 pounds, so you would have had 60 pounds worth of steel weight. But as you can see, with just the copper alone, I've already made more than I would have at whole. As well as I said, the stainless steel inside of here, all I'm gonna do is to break it down, I'm just gonna take an angle grinder and I'm just gonna cut down the sides and fold it. There is, however, on the outside, some coating. This coating, you're gonna wanna take it off. There's a couple ways you can do it that I've found successful. Number one, if I leave this outside for a little bit, the glue, this stuff coating actually starts to peel off. The other nice thing is if I took just a screwdriver and a hammer and I chiseled it off, a lot of times it will peel off in pieces. So it does take a little bit of time, but it's definitely worth it. Like I said, you're looking at 50 cents a pound for stainless steel, it won't take me that long to do. So the whole body, as I said, is stainless steel. This control panel is connected by plastic, and I am going to have to take this out as well. The door, I'm going to open this to see if there's anything inside for you. Okay, actually, do it this way. Okay, nice thing about these is I don't have to be too careful because it's going to be separated anyway. I'm looking, this is through here, you can see the green. So there is a circuit board in here, and I'm just going to break the top off of this. Okay, so a little bit of circuit board here. As you can see, there are 4 boxes here. These boxes also have silver contacts in them, and there is a small little copper transformer here. I do break this off, and I will take the copper out. I'll just hit it with a hammer because that's just steel. It'll break open. I'll put the steel into my steel bin, copper into my number 2 copper. On the teeth here, I could throw this board into my low-grade circuit board pile, but it does have little flakes of silver on here as well. Some people will take those off and separate them. Others will just throw it in as is. Because this control panel, there's a little one right here, the circuit board, because it has little buttons on it, that means that these also have little teeny tiny pieces of silver in the silver contacts. So anytime you have a button like a click, or you have a knob, an on and off switch, they all have silver. Okay, so you got, like I said, there's some really nice silver contact boxes there. Okay, a little bit of plastic, some more steel, and other than that, the only waste that I have is the catch basin and a little bit of the hose that comes from this. Okay, so all in all, a really good score. And also, unfortunately, the base. But all in all, very good appliance to scrap. Again, you want to see inside if the door and the inside is magnetic. If it's not, it's stainless steel. So worthwhile stripping it, taking it apart, cutting it up. If it is magnetic inside, again, it's steel, so you're just going to bring it in and get steel price. So either way, you're getting money for it, and you're diverting it from the landfill. Hope you found this video informative. Please comment down below, like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video. Tin Man out.